Hello, 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 and welcome to a very special Benney Babbles. I've been asked to do some what they call reaction videos, so I've been sent this one here. I haven't looked at it yet. I've been told that I've got to take it up to this point, and I got to watch it from here. So I watched a few reaction videos. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. I suppose this is a bit like Gogglebox, where people watch people doing stuff. Anyway. So this is my version of a reaction video, and the video in question that I'm going to be reacting to is 5 moments you wouldn't believe if not filmed. Now, let me just check this. Let's have a look. Underworld is the YouTube channel that is on, and I think the cat's going to come and join me now because he wants to join in. So let's just get on with this and let's react to this video. 5 moments you wouldn't believe if not filmed. Part 4. Ooh, why didn't you send me part 1? Never mind. Let's kick on. Let's kick on.
Everyone loves a nice, relaxing day at the beach. It's hot, you're getting a tan, you have a cold drink in your hand, and when the heat becomes too much, you take a
Turn
dip
it
in the
down a
water.
bit.
Now, we don't claim to be psychics or anything. Picture a day at the beach. It doesn't include a huge military ship barreling towards the shore and running up on the beach. For these beachgoers in Russia, though,
What?
that's exactly the type of day they ended up having.
That can't be real. Look at the size of it. No. You can imagine in Puthcall.
This video starts right in the middle of the action. About 50 yards offshore, a huge black hovercraft is spewing up water in all directions as it creeps its way towards the beach.
That is bonkers.
Hundreds of people are looking on, wondering what is going on. Eventually,
it
makes it to the shore where it comes to a
there.
rest. A spokesman for the Russian defense told the press that the hovercraft was actually operating as planned and was on some sort of a tactical mission. He went on to say that the beach where this video was shot was actually owned by the military and that they had no idea why all of the people were there.
Oh, they got tight security then, haven't they? Hold on a minute, let's have a pause of this. So basically what I've just watched is a gigantic hovercraft coming onto a beach full of people. Yeah, so this isn't like a resort or anything. It actually just said that it was a military beach and the military didn't know what these people were doing there. Well, yeah, so much for security. Let's carry on. Let's have a look at the size of these things.
Real-life hovercrafts existed on this scale. While doing more research, I found this video from the U.S. Navy of an American hovercraft driving up on shore. This angle gives you a better look at how this machine operates.
The speed is coming on the beach, like. Watch out, girls. Can imagine seeing that though on Puthcall or Barry Island Beach or down the Mumbles. You shit yourself, wouldn't you? Think you've been invaded. By who? I don't know. Well, right, yeah. That's the American.
Once on land, the back hatch opens and allows for land vehicles to easily exit and storm the beach.
See this bit, do I?
Pretty cool technology, if you ask me.
Yeah. Oh, number 4. Let's have a look what this is.
As passengers, we count on airline pilots' expertise to get us to where we need to go in a safe manner.
Well, yeah.
This goes double when flying conditions get choppy. Luckily, pilots are trained to be able to fly in some of the worst conditions, and the way they do this is nothing short of impressive. Back on October 12th, 2018 in Bristol, England, a ferocious storm named Callum caused widespread disruption in Wales and Western England with winds that reached up...
Hang on, what did he say then? Wales in Western England? Bristol in Wales and Western England. Hang on, I gotta go back. Hang on a minute. That can't. What did he just say? Let's try that again.
Back on October 12th, 2018 in Bristol, England, a ferocious storm named Callum caused widespread disruption in Wales and Western England.
Oh,
with
in
winds
Wales
that reached
and
upwards
Western
of
England,
46
right.
knots.
Sorry.
Over at the Bristol airport, however, airplanes still needed to land. Not only were the wind speeds making that incredibly difficult, but it was blowing directly across the runway. This adds about 500 levels
Hang on, he's
of
coming
danger to the
sideways.
already tricky landing approaches.
Oh, I wouldn't fancy being on
Watch
there.
as this pilot performs a very sketchy crosswind landing, almost looking like the plane is sideways as it touches down.
Oh, imagine being on that plane. You would be cacking yourself, wouldn't you? The smell must have been unbelievable from everyone just cacking their pants, probably. Look at it. It's like he's drifting. Wow. Oh my God. He's got skills. Oh, wow. Fair play for him. Oh my God. But everyone's like that inside.
As the winds and rain blow
there's another one.
across the runway, the airplanes come in for landings, flying nearly sideways. Believe it or not, though, these landings illustrate more than just how fierce the storm was. It shows pilots that are pulling off maneuvers perfectly. You see, crosswind landings are something that pilots train for and know how to navigate. By turning their noses into the wind, they're able to keep the lift needed to stay in the air while also keeping the airplane stable. Then, just before the wheels touch down, they correct and put the wheels down
that
very
is
quickly,
that is skill. And
minimizing
I don't
the
like
risk
driving
of
in the
wind
rain.
blowing them off course.
In a
Yes,
car.
it is a dangerous situation, but it is one that has been trained for time and time again.
Oh, fair play. Pilots, yeah, deserve every penny they earn.
There are quite a few variables that make a restaurant good. Of course, the main thing is the food, but another would surely be the atmosphere. Is it too loud? Is it relaxing? I guess it all depends on what sort of restaurant a person is eating at. When it comes to seafood, one of the best atmospheres is eating right at the water's edge. Many of us have been to one of these restaurants, especially at the beach.
I haven't.
But just like anything else at sea, things can go south when the water doesn't feel like cooperating. In March of 2014, a couple was trying to enjoy a nice meal in a restaurant built just above sea level. On this particular day, the weather was not very favorable. As the camera rolls, you can hear the man behind the camera comment on the rough seas. He was finding himself in one of those situations that many of us know all too well, one that could be slightly dangerous, but seems to add to the fun. What happened next surely caught the couple off guard.
Oh, hang on. Here it comes. I can see it. There's a wave coming up the side. Oh, hang on. Don't tell me it's going to put the wind through. Surely not. Surely they've thought about that. Oh, no, it hasn't. But yeah. There's lots of pants. Oh, hang on. Here's another one.
That's a big one. Oh, damn.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God almighty. Oh, wow. Can you imagine that?
The wave hit the windows with the full force of the ocean, breaking one of them and sending water pouring inside. When you look at the video, just before it hits the side of the building, you can see that the wave is bringing along with it some debris.
Yeah.
Luckily, no one inside was injured.
Wow.
The restaurant, on the other hand, did suffer quite a bit of damage.
Can imagine.
Not only were a few of the windows broken, but some of the supports were also damaged. It resulted in the place closing down for a couple of weeks while some repairs could be made.
I should think so as well. Yeah. Like that. What's
How
at
many
number 2?
times have you been driving down the road and ended up stuck behind a truck that's hauling an oversized load?
Yeah.
It can be frustrating because they drive super slow.
Especially around here.
But when you consider their cargo, it's often easy to understand why. They carry everything from entire houses to huge tractors and everything in between. But there is a downside to having to drive slow. From time to time, the drivers have to navigate through areas where stopping or getting stuck can end up spelling disaster. The driver in this video found that out the hard way.
Oh, what is it?
The train just came down on the blade. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What just happened?
Oh my god.
A train went through.
Oh
What?
my god.
That is nuts.
Oh my god.
You'd think that they'd.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's nuts.
The man behind the camera was in a truck of his own, needing to cross some railroad tracks ahead. He couldn't, though, because just ahead of him, traveling in the opposite direction, was a truck that was carrying the enormous blade of a wind turbine.
Oh
It
my
wasn't
god.
moving much, as the size of the blade forced
Yeah,
the
Ross,
truck to
if you're
make
watching this, that's what you want to do.
incredibly
Make sure
slow
they
and
go in
precise turns.
over
Just then, the two arms of the railroad
over
cross were
a
lowered,
railway.
indicating that the worst
Sabotage
thing
it
that
before
could
it gets on
possibly
top of
happen in
sitting
this
in it.
situation was about to. A train was coming, and there was nothing that could stop it. The truck driver was pretty much stuck, unable to do.
So, if you wonder, I just said about Ross, sorry, a good friend of mine, Ross, who will be on the show on Wednesday night, from Britain's Hidden History. He's involved in a campaign about wind farms up on Saint Mountain, because it's damaging, I believe, star maps, or part of a star map that is right across South Wales. If you want to know more about that, go over to Ross's channel. That's Britain's Hidden History Ross. Go on and have a look at that. He was talking about it this evening. Anyway, let's get back onto this, and I'll tell you about Ross when we finish. Anyway, go on. Sorry, I do babble.
Anything. In the distance, you could
Benney
hear
Babbles.
the eerie sound of the train horn getting closer and closer. In a last-ditch effort to avoid a crash, the truck driver tried to accelerate as fast as he could.
Oh, he takes that
But
out.
as his cargo was too heavy and bulky, it didn't help much. The train plowed through the blade, totally destroying it and dragging the cab of the truck onto its side. The driver was not able to make it out of the cab before the crash, but he only suffered minor injuries as a result.
Hope you had a seatbelt on.
NASA was the world's leading organization for space exploration and study, especially in the beginning of the 21st century.
Aye.
But in July of 2011, the Space Shuttle program officially came to a close after more than 30 years.
Oh, I remember.
Not everything from the shuttle was retired, though. The RS-25 thrusters that were used on the space shuttle have been brought back to power.
I remember watching these when I was young. I remember when what was it, Challenger? I think it was Challenger that blew up. I remember watching that live at my in my grand's house. Crazy stuff. Anyway,
Power the new generation of rockets. In this video, we're able to see NASA performing a test of them, measuring everything from thrust to temperature. Without seeing it, it's hard to grasp just how powerful these things are. But this video illustrates that perfectly.
Chew! Oh, bless you. Excuse me. Wow. I wouldn't put that as number one, though. It's cool and everything, but think of all the... Yeah, think of the environment, like. Carbon footprint quite large within NASA. Wow.
There's enough power coming from the engines that if they were generating electricity as opposed to sending a rocket into space, they could power 648,591 miles of residential streetlights, which is enough.
Hang on a minute. Well, they weren't sending anything into space, and he just said. So why didn't perhaps they did. Perhaps they did. I don't know. Perhaps they did have it hooked up to the grid or something.
Enough to go to the moon and back, then circle the Earth 15 times. You get a good idea when you watch the video and see just one of the engines firing.
Oh, that's just
Incredible
one.
things happen all the time on our planet. Thankfully, we have videos like these to show us what happened.
Well,
If you
there we go. There's my first reaction video. Uh, how did it go? Let me know. If you want to see me do others, then please do get in touch, and I'll have a watch, and you can have my reaction. I don't care what it is. A bit of strange music, something, or anything. Go on. I like babbling. That's what I do well. I babble well. So thanks for tuning in. If you watched it all the way through, then you deserve a medal. As I said, this is my first one, and there could be more to come if people want to send me some react videos to react to. Now, this Wednesday, I will be back with a normal Benney Babbles. My special guest, they're all special guests. My special guest this week is Ross Broadstock, as I was saying about earlier. And me and Ross are going to be having a chat about his channel, Britain's Hidden History. He's got a new channel as well. We're going to be talking about that. And I believe he's going on tour with Martin Leakey and the gang. So we'll hear all about that this Thursday, 8 p.m. GMT, live on Facebook and YouTube. That's 8 p.m. this Thursday, live on Facebook and YouTube. Right then, okay, folks, thanks so much for tuning in, and I think we'll say goodbye. Hello.